Welcome into another edition of That's Deep. I'm Tommy Z, joined as always by Johnny Bravo. We had a pretty good card last week, made some money. It was a good one. I was pretty excited. Got a decent card this week. A lot of massive favorites yet again. So we're going to have to sift through the weeds a bit. But I think it's a pretty solid card. I think we can make some money. Johnny, how you feeling today?
Yeah, coming off a good card last week, hit some good bets last week, and coming into UFC Atlanta, looking to keep the momentum going.
Yes, sir. So let's just jump right into it. First fight on the card is in the women's flyweight division. Got Jamie Lynn Horth taking on Vanessa Demopoulos. Jamie Lynn is she's a massive favorite here. She's got good size for the division, big, strong, taking on Vanessa Demopoulos, who is, she's scrappy. She's always in an interesting fight, but pretty sizable underdog here. What are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I don't know what else to say. Horth is a minus 575 favorite. Demopoulos coming in on short notice, I think going up in weight. Horth should be massive in there. She's not really good. But Demopoulos, her path to victory here would be getting the takedowns, which I think she should probably be pretty easy to do against Demopoulos, whose takedown defense is pretty terrible. Striking technique, not the greatest. But she's always in a lot of these close split decision type fights, and she's gotten some robbery splits before. So, yeah. I can't back Horth at minus 575. It's just, what can you really do here? I really don't know. Horth by decision, I guess, but that's probably going to be juiced. So,
yeah,
not very many takes here.
Yeah, I think there's a possibility that she finds a finish, just because I do think there's a very good chance she ragdolls her. So, it's going to be – the size advantage is going to be huge. And so I could see her, maybe landing some ground and pound, maybe sneaking in a sub, just being much bigger. But, yeah, it's tough. It's tough to really get on anything. With such a massive favorite and somebody who's not the greatest, Demopoulos, as my dogs go crazy, Demopoulos doesn't really offer much. I went back and looked. She's been outstruck or submitted by every single one of her opponents except for one. So even in the fight she's won, she was outstruck by her opponent. So though she looks like she's throwing a lot, she doesn't land a lot. Her output is, it looks good, I guess, but she doesn't land much. So she just doesn't offer too much. Massive size disadvantage. I don't think this one will be close, but it's really tough to get behind Horth at such a big number.
Yeah.
But we'll move on. Our next fight here is in the welterweight division. We've got Phil Rowe taking on Angelosa. Two guys that I'm not extremely high on. Losa has some good power, although, he doesn't have finishes in the UFC. And Phil Rowe, he's got some good grappling. He's decent, but, both guys definitely have holes. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, Phil Rowe just kind of seemed like he had potential and just kind of flaky, unreliable, not trustworthy. I guess he's got, big, long guy, decent striking, good pop in his hands. Defensive grappling, not the best, but he does have some good BJJ, especially off his back. And then Lusa kind of just this kind of big, powerful guy. He does have power in his hands, on the feet, some decent striking, some grappling, some good takedowns, some good grappling. This is a tough one. I'm leaning Lusa right now. But I mean, Rowe is just I just can't bet Phil Rowe. He's on the list of the guys that I just can't get behind. Yeah, and I think Moose probably takes him down and grounds him and probably wins a decision.
Yeah, I definitely think this one's going to the scorecards. Yeah, I don't really like either guy. To me, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I think late in the fight, Phil Rowe could look good. Lewis's cardio falls off pretty drastically in the third round. We've seen him get in trouble late in fights, but yeah, I don't know if it's enough to back Phil Rowe here. So yeah, I mean, I guess my official lean would be Rowe, just because I think he could kind of use his length a little bit and make it an ugly fight and potentially just steal that third round after a close back and forth. So I'm gonna go with Rowe here as an official pick, but yeah, I don't like either guy, so not sure my money's gonna be on this fight. All right, our next fight is in the bantamweight division. We've got Ricky Simone taking on short notice replacement Cameron Smotherman. Simone was set to fight a relatively tough matchup with Jourdain. That would have been an interesting fight. Smotherman here, I mean, he's coming in on a week's notice. I know he had a fight booked for later in July, I want to say, but I don't think he was really in camp. Didn't really sound like it when he was talking about getting the call. So, yeah, I mean, Simone, again, big favorite here. What are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, Ricky Simone, short notice. He was supposed to fight Jourdain, so Smotherman coming here on short notice. Yeah, I mean, Simone, he kind of impressed me in his last fight. I mean, he absolutely starched Basharat, which was, I mean, a good performance. After he kind of lost his way a little bit. I mean, even though the 10 level competition he was fighting was relatively good, he just kind of got away from he's kind of a wrestle boxer, and he kind of just abandoned his wrestling and is more of just a striker now, which is, I mean, he's got good boxing, but I mean, he can always mix in that grappling, which is pretty good at, Yeah, but impressive performance last time out. He proved me wrong. I was on Basharat by decision there, and yeah, he proved me wrong there. And Smotherman, young, up and coming kid, coming in here. We've seen him in the UFC quite a few times. Some decent striking. He's had that one good performance, and then the Series City fight was kind of a disappointment. I was on him in that fight. He let me down there. Got absolutely beat down in that fight, taken down, and pretty much mauled. Yeah, I mean, there's a clear path here for Simone. I mean, Smotherman's weakness is the takedown defense. So,
yeah,
I mean, I think Ricky should have a fairly easy time here getting Smotherman down. I mean that would be the least path of resistance, So,
yeah.
The pick is Simone. He's minus 550. So, I mean, whether you get on him where you think he gets a finish or it's by decision, I think he probably finishes Smotherman if he can take him down. I think he can land some big ground and pound or even lock up maybe a club and sub, But yeah, I like Simone. Just got to figure out how I'm going to get on him. So I think Simone should win this fight fairly easily.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, like you said, like I kind of I was on the same boat. I thought Simone might be done after that 3-fight losing streak. But then, you go back and you look at the guys he was fighting, and it's just like not an easy fight in there, so. And then he comes back and he gets that knockout win, and it's like, okay, well, Simone may not be dead. But yeah, I mean, he's got a pretty clear path here. He can win this fight on the ground. He can just, take him down over and over. He's just higher level. He's fought the higher level guys. He should dominate this fight. I do think he could finish, but, I could also see him just, ragdolling him for 3 rounds as well. So, but I would lean towards a finish, and I would lean towards multiple takedowns, hopefully. I mean, no sense in playing games here. Just go to what's the easiest path and get through this fight. So, yeah, Simone is the pick for me. I think he has a chance to finish. It's probably going to be pretty one-sided. All right, our next fight is a pretty good one here. Usually is when Cody Durden's fighting. Flyweight bout. We got Cody Durden taking on Jose Ochoa. Ochoa, newcomer to the UFC. He's got, his last fight was in a decent performance, but, not too much to take away from it. Landed 50 strikes. And we know what Cody Durden's going to do. He's going to come out. He's going to look to grapple. He's going to, come out guns blazing. Somewhat of a hometown fight for him. Home region fight, I guess you could say. So he should probably have a good amount of friends and family there. But yeah, interesting fight here. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, this is a tough one for me. I really like this Ochoa kid. He came in his first fight against the Australian kid. Name is slipping my Kavanaugh, loner. The Kavanaugh, not the Australian kid, the English kid. And that kid's really, really good. And he wasn't the best of performances, from him. But I mean, like before that on the tape, he looks pretty good. I mean, the striking looks good. He's got knockout power. Overall, just a solid up and coming prospect. I'm high on him. And Durden's kind of, like you said, it's a hometown fight for him. This is big for him. He's kind of on a tough stretch here. He's going to probably go all out to try to get the win in front of his hometown crowd. So he's a tough junkyard dog. I question his chin at times, the durability, like we've seen. Bruno Silva starched him, and he was beating Bruno down, and then he just got caught and put away. He's got good grappling, he can wrestle. That would be my question, is if he can get Ochoa to the ground and get some control time on the ground, that would be interesting. But at minus 190, I mean, I don't know if I can get to an Ochoa money line. I kind of like him to win, but it's like, man, minus 190 is tough. I think fight should probably be a pick'em. So I mean, the value on the money line is probably on Durden. So I mean, man, I don't know. I'm not sure where I'm going to go here. I'm on the fence right now. I mean, money line, it's dog or pass, but I think Ochoa can catch him. He's got some good crazy power. Yeah. So this is tough. I'm gonna lean Ochoa by knockout for now. But yeah.
I'm in the same boat, man. I think it's a much closer fight than the odds would say. I like Cody Durden. He fights for your money, and I know he's gonna come out fast. Obviously, he can get caught, but I just have to roll with him as a pretty decent-sized underdog here. I like the grappling. He's a tough guy. He's had some good fights with some tough guys in the division. Doesn't always go his way, but he's a dog. I mean, that's what he is. He fights hard, and in a fight like this where we don't really know what Ochoa is at this level yet, maybe he is really good. But I'll take the shot on the dog here. I'll take Cody Durden, and I just hope he can hold up for 3 rounds. That's kind of all there is to it. All right, our next fight is in the bantamweight division. It is complete squash match on paper. Got Malcolm Wellmaker taking on the returning Chris Motinho. Famously took 1 million shots from Sean O'Malley. He's on a 6-fight winning streak on the regional scene. Coming back here on short notice against a pretty talented up-and-comer in Wellmaker. I think Wellmaker's minus 1,200. Last I saw, it was some crazy line.
Minus like 2,000 now.
Is it? Yeah, I mean, it's just outrageous. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, big favorite. Yeah, I really like Wellmaker. I mean, the kid looks good. I mean, he's hitting his kind of his prime. He's kind of he's not really a younger prospect. He's kind of an older prospect. So he's like 30, 31, I think. So he's barely about to hit his prime. So, I mean, the kids look good. I mean, what can you say? I mean, that Cameron Simon knockout was pretty impressive, and even on his regional tape is pretty impressive. Yeah, I think this kid has the potential to be a future star. Really clean boxing. Good striking. It's whether somebody can, like there's going to be somebody who's going to be able to maybe out grapple him, which would kind of be a concern. Because we have kind of seen him taken down before. So yeah, and then Motinho, he came into the UFC. O'Malley used him as pretty much a punching bag for 3 rounds, and then somehow the fight got stopped with like 30 seconds left, I think. So, and then it got absolutely starched by some old man. What was his name?
We're terrible with names today.
I'm always terrible with names, but yeah. Well, he got absolutely Guido Canetti.
Yes.
Guido got absolutely starched by Guido in the first round, which is not a good look. Yeah, and then got cut, and then just went on the regional scene and made a crazy run. Won 6 fights in a row. Looked pretty good. So he's coming in here on short notice. I don't know. I mean, the UFC isn't doing him any favors by giving him Wellmakers. So I mean, he probably gets starched here, and then they probably give him a decent next fight. So yeah, he probably gets starched here, and yeah, I like Wellmaker by KO. So
yeah, same here. I could see him just coming out and finishing him first round. Very early. This could be over quick. I think Motinho will come out and look to shoot for some takedowns, try to get him to the ground, and try to just get himself into the fight. But I just don't think he's very good. I think he's way too hittable. Yeah, I mean, he's a tough kid, but that was a life-changing beating he took from O'Malley. Obviously, we saw it in his next fight. Just got absolutely put out within like the first minute. I think it was in like the first minute or 2 of that fight. So yeah, I mean, to me, I feel like he might just be a regional fighter. I would expect he gets another fight. I mean, obviously, this is a pretty tough ask of him to come back and fight this fight on short notice. So you'd think he would get a more favorable matchup in the next one. But yeah, I just think it's going to end pretty bad here. I don't know. I'm thinking I might bet the first round.
Yeah, it's Wellmaker's hometown too. He's from Georgia, so
yeah,
Atlanta, Georgia. So yeah, he's going to be coming out here to make a statement. Round 1's like only plus 145. So
yeah, I mean,
it's not great.
Not great, but when it's minus 2,000,
I was thinking of maybe taking like when the combos come out at 2-3, maybe Motinho can survive that first round, and we can get a nice price on 2-3 KO. But
yeah, definitely a possibility. I mean, the kid's got a lot to prove, and you would hope he puts out a decent performance, but it was just a tough situation for him. So yeah, maybe he can get in there, grab a hold of him, kind of hold him against the cage potentially. I'm not even sure he would be able to, but yeah, I mean, I could see him surviving those 2-3 props. Will they'll probably be pretty decent, so not a bad way to look at it. All right, our next fight is in the welterweight division. We've got 2 pretty washed guys here. Michael Chiesa taking on Court McGee. Chiesa is on a 2-fight winning streak. McGee had a nice win in his last fight as well. Chiesa's a pretty sizable favorite here. I'm not a big Chiesa guy personally, but Court McGee, he's up there. He's been through some wars. Tough guy. Pretty solid striking, pretty strong. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, in 2025, Michael Case is a -370 favorite. Let's just let that settle in.
Yeah.
I mean, both these guys are they're up there in age, and I mean, there's no reason this guy should be -370. I mean, yeah, I mean, he's won his last couple of fights, but it's against who? It was Tony Ferguson? Like, come on, man.
Max Griffin and
Max Griffin,
he caught that sub late.
Yeah, and you're not subbing Court McGee. I mean, Court McGee's never been subbed, so he's a world class BJJ practitioner. It's hard to get this guy in anything. Yeah, I mean, Chiesa's path here would be getting the grappling going and getting the wrestling going. You know that I don't see him subbing McGee, but I mean, if McGee is able to keep this on the feet, this is going to be a pretty close fight because Michael Chiesa on the feet is, I mean, it's pretty much non-existent. There's pretty much nothing there. He has nothing to offer on the feet, so if he's not getting takedowns and grappling, then I mean, I can definitely see Court McGee being live here. I mean, Court McGee's 40 years old, but I mean, he's still like showing something in his fights. I mean, he's still putting the pace on guys. The cardio is good. The boxing is, I mean, he's the better boxer than Michael Chiesa by miles, I think. You know, and he's got some good, I think he could keep this on the feet and box up Chiesa. Yeah, this is for me. I mean, this is Court McGee or pass for me. I mean, yeah, I can't lay -370 on Chiesa, and I can't bet Chiesa by sub because McGee's never been subbed. I mean, could he grapple fuck him and win a decision? Probably he could, but I mean, I can see Court McGee keeping it on the feet and just boxing his head off.
Yeah, I agree.
So, I'm going to be looking at the Court McGee probably +3.5. See what that is.
With the line, you might get plus money on that.
Yeah, hold on. Let me go to Bet Online. They got it. Go ahead and talk.
But yeah, while you're looking that up, I mean, to me, the fight's not competitive if it's on the feet. I think Court McGee beats him 10 times out of 10. And you know, he has never been subbed. And Chiesa does have nice submissions. He could find something, but McGee's fought a lot of guys that have nice submissions and could find something and never have. So anything's possible, but I really don't see a path here for Chiesa that even remotely comes close to this money line. So yeah, for me, it's Court McGee all day. That's a ticket. Even if it goes down, I wouldn't regret that. He's the much better striker. He's strong. I mean, he's strong as an ox. Like, it's not like he's going to be easy to just take down and control. And he does have some good skills on the ground too. So it's not like he's a fish out of water there. So yeah, I mean, I don't understand the line. Maybe I'm a sucker, but I'll take Court McGee.
Yeah, the McGee +3.5 is even money. So I mean,
yeah, I don't hate that.
Yeah. So, yep.
All right, we'll move on. Our next fight is a fight that we broke down a few weeks ago. Paul Craig taking on Rodolfo Bolato. That fight was canceled, I believe, on fight night, if I'm not mistaken. Bolato
due to herpes.
Yeah, Bolato decided that the world needed to know that that fight was canceled for herpes.
Well, he had I guess it was just a cold sore or whatever from cutting weight. So, yeah.
But kind of strange situation there. I was taking the shot on Paul Craig because I think Bolato's terrible, and I still do. Obviously Paul Craig has not looked good recently, and he's a pretty large underdog for a reason. But my thoughts haven't really changed on this fight. What do you got here?
Yeah, my thoughts haven't changed either. I think Paul Craig gets knocked out here. I mean, I don't really need to go over this one again. I think. I think it's pretty clear. I think it's either Paul Craig by sub. Paul Craig catches him. Bolato does something stupid. Paul Craig catches him in one of his signature subs, or I mean, he just gets absolutely just sent to Jupiter and starched. So yeah, but I'm picking Bolato by knockout.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much the way. It's either going to be a brutal KO or Paul Craig catching something. So yeah, I mean, I'm going to roll with Craig and just hope that Bolato is as bad as I thought. But yeah, if you're betting the KO, I don't blame you at all. All right, we'll move on to the next fight here. We've got a light heavyweight bout. Alonzo Menfield taking on Omar C. C is a large man, 6'4", massive reach. Menfield, short, compact. He's got some big power, big, strong guy. Menfield's a guy that's been very wishy-washy over pretty much his whole UFC career. C, pretty new to the UFC scene. Again, it's light heavyweight, so anything can happen. Big power both ways. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, Omar C, big, powerful Frenchman. Yeah, his his game plan is the wrestling. That's what he does. He likes to take guys down and just absolutely pretty much smother them on the ground. Good subs in his back pocket, good ground and pound, real strong guy. He's a big favorite for a reason, but I don't know. Menfield, I mean, I don't know. This guy, I mean, he's got big power in his hands. I mean, he can always connect with something big. Like that's the worry on the feet. He's always got something locked and loaded. He can always hit you in that first 7 minutes. The cardio is not great. So, I mean, he's probably going to have to catch you early, or else he's probably going to gas and get smashed. But yeah, I mean, I think C should have he's a big, strong guy, so he should be able to take down Menfield here. Jimmy Crute took him down, and I think in their first fight took him down like 6 times. Menfield can be taken down. And that's pretty much what C wants to do. I mean, if it's on the feet, it could be competitive, but I don't see this staying on the feet very long. I see C pretty much getting in close early and dragging him to the ground. And I don't know, I don't know whether it's by sub or it's by ground and pound, but I think he probably finishes Menfield. I think we see violence here. And, I mean, I like the big favorite.
Yeah. Wear on him, get him tired. Menfield's cardio is not the greatest. I've seen him get tired in fights plenty of times. The one thing that does scare me a little bit is Menfield. Like, we have seen him get taken down, but we've also seen, historically his takedown defense has been pretty solid. So if he is able to stuff some takedowns early, fight could get interesting. It could be kind of a sloppy one on the feet. But, yeah, I'm just not – I don't know. Menfield, just not a big fan. He's got some power, definitely live. He lands big. He can knock out pretty much anybody. But, yeah, I think if C gets that grappling going, it's the ground and pound going, wears on the gas tank, I think he gets him out of there second, third round. So, yeah, I'm going to roll with C as well here. All right, our next fight is – there we go. In the middleweight division, we've got Mansour Abdul Malik taking on Cody Brundage. I mean, I am just not a Cody Brundage guy. But, he does have some power in his hands. He's got some good wrestling. Cardio, not great. Malik, he looks good. I mean, he's another big, strong guy.
Didn't you argue with me about this? You said he's not good. Weren't you arguing with me about him on the live show that he's not any good?
I might have been.
Okay.
I might have been.
Just wondering.
But, he's fighting Cody Brundage. So, but, yeah, I do think so, because I think at one point it looked like he was not looking good, and then next thing he was finishing the fight. And it was quite the
debate.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a Cody Brundage fan. I mean, even when you listen to him talk, he just doesn't sound like a guy that has confidence. He just doesn't. I don't know. It's just he's bailed himself out with a couple DQ wins or a DQ win, and I think a no contest. But yeah, I mean, he's got power. He's got good wrestling. Just the cardio is just not great. First round, I think, is going to be very interesting here. But yeah, well, let you go. What are your thoughts on the fight?
Yeah, I mean, Cody Brundage kind of. I mean, I would even say his grappling is very good. I mean, he kind of just pulls for that gilly and just. I mean, if he gets it, then he gets it. If not, then he's pretty much on bottom and pretty much stuck on bottom for the remainder of the round when he gets down there. I mean, he does have power in his hands. We've seen. I mean, but in his last fight against Marquez, yeah, it was an impressive knockout. But I mean, it's Julian Marquez. The guy has absolutely no durability and no chin. He's absolutely cooked. So yeah, that was good, solid knockout. After he almost got knocked out himself, he came back and knocked out Marquez. So, I mean, like you said, the cardio isn't great. I don't think the wrestling is very good. I mean, he does have some power in his hands. He's got that sneaky guillotine he always tries to go to that he rarely gets. And yeah, and Abdul Malik, I like this kid. I'm high on this kid. Big power in his hands, kind of low volume, which is kind of a concern. He's at a good gym. He's training. He's with Eric Nixick, so hopefully, so he can develop that over time. But yeah, really, really good, really, really good wrestling, good takedowns, heavy, nasty, dirty ground and pound, big power. Yeah, I can see Brundage pulling Gilly here, ending up on bottom and just getting absolutely just smashed. Yeah, it's Malik, but yeah, it's Malik KO, but it's like, what's the number on that? Yeah, it's minus 350. So I mean,
Yeah,
you're gonna have to go round one. Round one is plus 115. So I mean, you're gonna have to get creative here, So yeah, it's Malik by devastating knockout.
Yeah, I'm with you. I do see a world where it gets into the second round though.
I could see Brundage pulling Gilly and then kind of staying alive off his. But Brundage is the kind of guy that kind of looks for the way out. Like he kind of like if it ain't going his way, he'll look for the way out. Like he got the DQ. Like he'll roll around on the ground and quit if the fight's not going his way. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
Yeah,
I agree. I mean, I can't. I don't like Brundage. And honestly, I think after the first round, it definitely sides towards Malik even more. But yeah, I expect to finish. I expect violence, and I expect Malik to being the one handing out the damage.
Yeah, under 2.5 is minus 600. So this fight ain't going.
Yeah. They at least don't want to give us anything. But we move on. Our next fight is in the bantamweight division. We've got a couple more old guys, even though Cody Garbrandt's not. I think he's like 30, late 30s, but
he's got the chin of like a 50-year-old.
Yeah, that's the thing. Cody Garbrandt taking on Raoni Barcelos. Barcelos obviously, killed all of us, I think, in his last fight. He's a massive underdog against Peyton Talbot, and just came out and showed him that there are more levels to this game than just striking. And Barcelos has always been a pretty well-rounded guy. He's got some pretty good striking. He can be hurt too. They both can be hurt. And Cody, we've seen that chin is not great. He's got very good skills. He's very fast. good hands. He's got good grappling as well. But yeah, this is a tough one because I mean I could see Cody catching him, but I don't know. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, I mean Garbrandt's probably. I mean the chin is. I mean chin is pretty much gone. The chin has been cracked. Once that chin is cracked, you can't really heal that chin once it gets broken like that. And you can kind of tell now the guy's getting fucking a knife tattoo over his eye. So I mean, definitely some kind of CTE there. So yeah, I mean, he's a decent fighter. He's got some grappling in his pocket. I mean, the striking would used to be, he used to be fast and throw some volume, but now he's kind of more recently as a kind of a low volume point like fighter, decision fighter is what he's kind of developed into over the years, kind of just a low volume decision fighter, point fighter. Really good boxing. He's fast. The speed's there, but yeah, it's just that chin that I have major concerns about, And Roni is well-rounded. He's up there in age. Looked really good in that Peyton Talbot fight. Yeah, looked really good. Kind of, and he kind of was, middling. Umar knocked him out, so he has been knocked out before. And that Henry fight, Henry put a pace on him, and kind of, the volume, the pace, kind of wore on Roni in that fight. And but I mean, the guy's well-rounded. He can grapple. He can strike. I mean, he kind of slowed down in that Talbot fight, which was kind of concerning. But I mean, he used a lot of energy to hold Talbot down for those first 2 rounds. So I mean, it's I mean, can you blame him for gassing after all that wrestling? I don't really hold that against him too much there. Yeah, I just think Roni's just way more well-rounded. I think he can take Garbrandt down if he wants, and then I mean I think he can even catch him and knock him out. I mean I think Roni's striking is pretty decent. Yeah, the pick is Barcelos for me. I can't back Cody Garbrandt in 2025 with no chin.
Yeah, the fall off for Cody has been pretty substantial. He's put some wins together over the past few years, but
I mean that Trevin Jones fight wasn't impressive to me.
Almost got knocked out in that fight.
Yeah, in round 3, almost got finished. Yeah.
So I mean, that's kind of the way I see it. Like his striking is good to the point where he could, come out and just land a big shot. But the decline that we've seen, it looks a lot like Tony Ferguson. It looks a lot like BJ Penn, where they're just falling off a cliff, and it just doesn't end well. And you hate to see it, but it's a brutal sport, and I just can't trust Cody.
The roughest things is when the chin, as a fighter, when your chin goes.
Yeah.
I mean, like at any moment, like somebody can hit that button and just put you out. That's not for being a fighter. That's not the greatest, No,
it's not. And Barcelos is such a good fighter that if the fight goes to the ground, he can hang on the ground, on the feet. He's not going to be the faster guy. Cody probably does have the edge there, but it just takes. It doesn't even have to be a clean shot. It could just be a decent punch to even just wobble him. I mean, Barcelos. To me, there's just less risk here with Barcelos. I think he's still a good fighter. He's got the skills, and but Garbrandt, I can't back him at this point.
Yeah.
All right. Our next fight is another one where you can poke holes in both of these guys. Got Edmond Shabazian, who was once the big up and comer. Everybody was excited about him. Taking on Andre Petroski, who's a strong grappler. He's got some power, but mostly looks to take guys down, hold them down. Shahbazyan, we've seen that be a weakness for him. He gets kind of worn out in the wrestling game, taken down, and his cardio doesn't really hold up. But striking wise, got a pretty big edge here. I don't trust either guy cardio wise, but what are your thoughts here?
Yeah, this is kind of one that's kind of like, this is a volatile fucking fight right here. I mean, you got Edmond, who comes out, I mean, really, the wonder kid, everybody was high on him, and then he was knocking everybody out, and then he ran into that speed bump of wrestlers that were able to just take him down, neutralize his striking, and was able to just, take advantage of him on the ground. But on the feet, I mean, the striking is really good. I mean, he's got, clean power, but it's like after 7.5 minutes, it's like the cardio is not the greatest, It's
yeah.
So yeah, he's going to have a big advantage here in the first half of the fight. And it's whether he lands that power shot or if Petroski, that's, I mean, his game is, if he can get some takedowns here and kind of wear on that gas tank, it would definitely benefit him, because on the feet, I think his, the Vieira fight, I thought he lost that fight in his last fight.
Yeah.
He stole that win, but he got it. So yeah, I think the striking is a little bit, like, what's the word I want to use? Kind of just basic and not very good. Kind of low volume, but does have big power in his hands. Yeah, but he's going to want to get this fight to the ground, because if this fight stays standing for like 7.5 minutes, he's probably going to sleep, because we've seen that chin kind of go, like that Malkoun fight where he kind of shot in for a takedown and knocked himself out on Malkoun's hip. That was kind of a weird one. I don't think I've ever seen that outside of that fight. So yeah, I don't know. This is a tough one for me, because I could see Petroski taking him down and just laying on top of them and just just threatening subs and just grounding Shahbazyan. But then I could see Shahbazyan just absolutely just starching him and putting him to sleep. Yeah, I mean, but Petroski's kind of on a good run right now, and I don't know. This is a tough one for me. This is a real tough one for me. I'm gonna lean Edmond knocks him out, but this is a tough one. I think Edmond probably starches him in 1 or 2. But if it goes longer, this could be a good live betting opportunity if Petroski can weather the early storm and extend the fight, and it could get interesting. So it could be a good live betting opportunity. Maybe you take Edmond KO 1, and if he doesn't get him out, then you kind of look and see if Petroski's having success, and kind of look to Petroski later in the fight at live, maybe at a plus number, or maybe at the start of round 2.
Yeah, I agree. I think this is a good live betting opportunity, because Shahbazyan
kind of like the Mearshard fight. The Mearshard fight kind of this. I think this is kind of similar to the Mearshard fight. You know?
Yeah, we've seen Shahbazyan come out and look like $1 million and just fall off a cliff. And you want to say he learns from those experiences, but honestly, like, even in the fights he wins, there's still, you still can't, you just don't see like him taking a big step forward. The striking's there, but you still worry about the chin a little bit. You still worry about the cardio. But I mean, Petroski too. Like, Petroski, his cardio is not the greatest either. So I would think he probably has a decent advantage going into the later rounds.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, no, but like Petroski's kind of these guys that they look tired, they are tired, but he just fucking fights through it, like,
Yeah,
and still win minutes. Yeah.
That's true. I mean, we've seen that. We've seen him dead gassed And I've been on him in a few fights where I know for a fact if the fight gets back to the feet, he's dead, but he's able to maintain that top control and pull it out. So I mean, I would be looking to bet him live after round one for sure. But I do think there is a very good chance Shabazian does get him early in the fight.
Shabazian KO round one plus 300.
Yeah, I mean that's something I don't mind betting right there.
1-2 KO. They haven't dropped. 1-2 KO hasn't dropped yet. Okay. All right.
Yeah, so I mean we're kind of on the same page here. We think Shabazian's got a very good chance of winning in the first round. But yeah, live bet is definitely a possibility here. On Petroski. All right. Moving on up. Our next fight is in the women's flyweight division. Got Thug Rose Namuna is taking on Miranda Maverick. Very interesting one here. Rose, we've seen her look amazing at times, and the other times she just, I don't know, you just never really know what you're going to get with her. She's up a weight class here. She hasn't had the most success in the flyweight division. Maverick's pretty solid. I would give the striking edge to Rose, but Maverick's big, strong. She can get the grappling going. She's got some pretty good wins under her belt. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I've been kind of going back and forth on this one all week. I mean, Rose should have a significant advantage on the feet, but it's like Rose hasn't looked very good in her last couple of fights. I don't know. That Blanchfield fight was kind of disappointing to me. How she looked really good in the first 2 rounds and then just completely fell off a cliff and was getting taken down and mauled. It wasn't a very good look. I mean, and Blanchfield's wrestling isn't the greatest. Yeah, it was real weird. Real weird fight. She looked like $1 million in the first 2 rounds, piecing her up. And then, in round 3, she just completely fell off a cliff and gassed. It was weird. But we know all the accolades. Rose has been here, done that, champion, former champion, and these girls, I think these girls used to train together, so.
Yeah, they did.
And Maverick, she's, the striking is not the greatest, but, how her path to victory here would be pushing Rose up against the cage, landing some knees, getting some takedowns, making it greasy, because I clearly think Rose has a pretty decent advantage on the feet. So, oh, God. This is just a tough one for me. I want to go Rose, but it's after her last fight, it just kind of left a sick feeling in my stomach about betting on her. I don't know. But I think if it's on the feet, I think she should win fairly easily. I mean, though. So it's probably a Rose decision is the way I would probably look to bet it. But I don't know. I think Maverick's kind of a tough junkyard dog, and she's going to go in there and grind, So I don't know. For right now, the pick's Rose by decision, but I could change my mind come Saturday, and depending on how the night's going. If it's a good night, then I might take a shot on Maverick. But yeah, the pick is probably Rose by decision, but not a lot of confidence.
Yeah, man, I'm with you. I have to go with Rose because if the good Rose shows up and she comes out and she's prepared and her cardio's on point, she wins this fight more often than not. But Rose is one of those fighters who we've for years we've questioned her mindset, and sometimes you question it and she comes out and looks great. And then other times you think, and even in the last fight, we were all impressed. That was awesome to watch, and then she was just dead. Like, it was.
Yeah.
I mean, for somebody who's been through multiple 5-round wars, championship fights, like, that's not what you would expect. That's not the way you would expect her to lose. But
No.
yeah, I mean, hopefully she comes in. The cardio's on point. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. I've gone back and forth too. I'm going to roll with Rose as well. But yeah, it's one that I can never be too confident.
No.
All right, we'll move on to our main event here. We've got a welterweight bout between Kamaru Usman taking on Joaquin Buckley. Story as old as time. We've got the old champ who's looking to kind of right the ship, taking on the young buck, relatively young buck, Joaquin Buckley, who's just looked like $1 million at this weight class. He fought for most of his early part of the UFC career at 185. Had some good success up there, but ultimately was a little undersized for the division. Dropping down to 170, he's looked strong. I mean, he's fast, he's powerful. The question here is, does Usman have anything left in the tank? And is it going to be enough to get by Buckley, who's just been surging? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, this is an interesting one. Should be a fun fight. Should be an interesting fight. We got the former champion Usman coming off almost a 2-year layoff from the Shmaya fight, where, I mean, people said, we're giving him that he looked good. He looked good in that third round. Besides getting ragdolled in rounds 1 and 2, he was decent in round 3. Nothing really mind blowing, but he probably won round 3 in that fight. But really don't know what to expect from him. He's doing a podcast now. He's got a lot of other things going on. He hasn't fought in 2 years. His knees are pretty much dust and gone. I mean, he's got no knees. So I also wouldn't be surprised if he comes in here with the double knee sleeves. Wouldn't be surprised at all. So yeah, I mean, he can always, I guess he can always show a performance, but I don't know, what is his path here. I really don't know what to expect from him. He's been gone for 2 years. His path here would probably be landing some takedowns here on Buckley and wrestling him and, wearing Buckley down, but I just don't see it happening. This Buckley's made, since, he first came in, since that Kevin Holland fight, he's made some, massive improvements. The guy looks like you said, $1 million. The striking is on point. The takedown defense is solid. He's got wrestling of his own. He's got big power in his hands. You can shut your lights off at any moment of the fight. He seems to have, worked out his little cardio bug he had. He's, that Colby Covington fight. he just, was absolutely just beating down Colby in that fight, which was pretty impressive. The Wonder Boy knockout. Just absolutely just starched Wonder Boy. Even though Wonder Boy was kind of keeping it a competitive fight, but no, that's what Wonder Boy's going to do. He's a good striker. He's always going to be competitive on the feet. So but Buckley found that button and put him away. This guy's hot. He's on a run here. I really like Buckley here to get a win. I don't know if he gets the knockout though. I do have Buckley in a parlay already from the week. So yeah, I am on Buckley. I don't know if he knocks him out or just wins a dominant decision, but yeah, I think I could see pass for Usman, but guy's 38 years old. He hasn't fought in 2 years. He's got no knees. I just can't get behind this guy hitting his prime and just on a hot streak. I can't go against that. I got to ride with Buckley here.
Yeah, Usman, even going back to the Leon fights, he was he was beating Leon in the first championship fight. Yeah, the second time they fought, but the first championship fight. And then he got that head kick knockout. And then, I thought, okay, he's going to come back and reclaim the crown. And he looked pretty lackluster in that rematch for the belt. It was pretty disappointing to see. And then, the Shmaya fight, yeah, he did look, second round, he started to kind of gain some momentum. And then third round, it looked like he was taking over. But I would say that's more about Shmaya just being pretty gassed after trying to finish him and just throwing him around the cage.
Yeah, there was a 10-8. I think their first round was a 10-8.
Yeah, one judge gave it a 10-8. I mean, I thought it was a 10-8. I thought they all should have. But actually, it might have been more than one. But either way, I mean, it was a pretty lopsided first round. It was pretty wild to see. I mean, we've never seen Usman look like that before, just where somebody could just manhandle him. But yeah, I mean, Shmaya just emptied the tank, and but he was still able to get Usman down late in that third round and just kind of ride out the rest of the fight. So, I mean, Usman has not looked great in the going back 2 years, and then the previous year. He is getting older. These guys, again, at some point you're just not the same guy, and there's no way he's the same guy after a 2-year layoff. He's still, he's still tough. He's strong. He's durable, and he's gonna give you a good fight. But yeah, I just think Buckley is just going to be a little bit too much at this point. He's not just Usman's not just going to be able to take him down easily. Buckley's always fighting, whether he's getting taken down or not. He's always fighting and scrambling and trying to land shots wherever he can. So, yeah, I mean, I got to go with Buckley here. Buckley's a guy who's he's going to be right up there, looking at a title shot the way he's going. So, I think it's well deserved. I think he's a really good fighter, and even his losses at 185, he looked strong and pretty much, most of his performances. He never really looked terrible. So yeah, I think he's really good. This is the weight class for him, and I think he gets it done Saturday night.
Yep.
All right. So that's it. We will be back this weekend. We've got, NASCAR as always. They're in Mexico for the road course, so that should be interesting, fun to watch. We'll be live all weekend. Keg is back. I think he's officially back.
Is he back?
I think he said he would.
I thought he said he's taking another week. So
he was talking about it, but I saw him tweet out that he was back, like he's fired up and ready to go. So I believe.
I don't think he's
believe
back.
There will be shows this weekend. Maybe not.
I think maybe Sunday we'll just do like. I think Coop. I don't know if Coop's going to be around to do the NASCAR live show, but yeah.
But either way, we will. I mean, I'll be around for the fights on Saturday night, so if everybody wants to go live, I'll go live. But so I guess we'll figure it out. Stay tuned. But yeah, I mean, sign up nukethehouse.com, get the fight picks. Get Kegs plays, Coop, all the boys. We've always got something going on. The Discord's always live, and we've got PFL going on right now. So I'm sure the chat's probably lighting up for that. But yeah, I guess Johnny, if you got anything else, let us know. Otherwise, we'll get out of here.
No, that's it.
All right. Thanks for tuning in. Give us a like, share the video, and good luck this weekend.
Later.